This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about Wahoo McDaniel. We haven't spent a lot of time talking about him, but one of the first big things that's going to happen for Magnum here in Jim Crockett is he essentially gets married up with Wahoo. And then in late March of 85, he defeats Wahoo for the United States title in a cage match that would later air on Worldwide. That's a big deal. Wahoo is a very established performer, especially in this area. And to sort of have him rub up against a guy like Magnum, that's a huge vote of confidence. Talk to us about Wahoo and why this was such a big win for some of our younger listeners.
Well, if you hear Ric Flair talk about Wahoo, he talks about it in reverent terms. Loved him. I don't know if anybody, I know guys that didn't like Wahoo. I never met anybody in my entire run in wrestling that didn't respect Wahoo. One of the toughest guys ever. And he was like Johnny Valentine. Once that toughness got seeped into the consciousness of the fan base, he was over. And Wahoo stayed over for years and years and years as probably an average worker with above average charisma and intensity. So for Wahoo to pass the torch to Magnum was the right thing to do, the classy thing to do. And I think it just made Wahoo even greater that he was willing to do that, because a lot of guys wouldn't have done it. They're going to let the kid prove himself on somebody else, not me. Wahoo was not that way, but to win a title in a cage against this legend, Hall of Fame legend, it was pretty strategic, pretty smart stuff.
So now they're trying some weird stuff here. This is, of course, the era where 1985, it's the WrestleMania year, right? So things are off to the races in a big way. People are fired up about, what's happened in wrestling over the last year since WrestleMania sort of made the big splash. And this is where a lot of territories start to really struggle. As a result of that, we see something that a lot of people thought we would never see. The NWA World Champion Ric Flair defending his title against Magnum TA at an AWA Super Clash from Comiskey Park in Chicago. An interesting approach here. Let's have our own sort of big super show, and let's invite the NWA World Champion into an AWA event. And oh, by the way, it's at a baseball stadium.
Yeah, good PR.
Yeah,
good media. Good way to. It just puts another brick in the wall on the fact that Jimmy Crockett knew where he wanted to go. This is about exposing Terry Allen, because you always know you're going to have a great match from Rick.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, that's sad to say, because it's taking things for granted. And that's not good. But seriously, that was a smart PR move. The guys, I'm sure, got a nice payday out of it. The office may have got a couple of bucks out of it, but the main thing is the talent's got money. They got exposure to a new and different audience. And you know as well as I do that the Nates loves to steal the show. Loves it. He loves to leave those guys behind in his dust. Outwork this, you son of a bitches, if you think you can. Ha ha ha. They'll laugh about it. So I'm only teasing. No, you're not. You're serious as a heart attack, you son of a bitch. You're going to show them all up. And then he had the young gun. They're going to be the fastest gun on earth at some point in time. Soon to be the next champion. And all of a sudden, he's getting his nice rub in that market. Because as well as I do that once the championship was made and Magnum was the champion at some point going forward, that they'd be back in that market running that arena or running that stadium or wherever it may be. It's always a method to the madness.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.